In a terrifying and eerie place, there was an extremely ugly woman. "Oh, there you are, poor lost soul. Come to me, I have been waiting for you for so long. Allow me to embrace you. You have come to listen to all these stories with me that will frighten you to death. Or is this game not for you? It's bad if that's the case because you're already here, my love. I am a scary witch. Nice to meet you." One beautiful day, in the dark of the night, stood a magnificent and beautiful house in the middle of the shore. There was some event taking place in this house, and it was very noisy and crowded. Wow, just wow, amazing. Screams could be heard. A lot of people gathered around a large table. One of the women at the table said she had never eaten anything more delicious in her life. One of the men at the table said, "Thank you for allowing me to share this wonderful evening with all of you. These excellent chefs whose services I chose at a charity auction were worth every penny. Note that it's all for a good cause, haha." All the chefs gathered in the kitchen and discussed something. Some were smoking, while others were just standing idle. One of the chefs was very upset. "Murd, all this murd," he said. "God, I hate such evenings. I'm afraid of such things, yes, I'm ready to admit it," said the chef. "But I can't stand things of this nature. There's something about this man." At that moment, everyone looked at him. "Do you feel something about this whole evening, Clara?" one of the chefs asked. "Yes, it's very scary," remarked the female chef. Another chef said, "I like this guy, he knows how to eat, and the wine is excellent. He has the soul of an old man, a Russian man. He's not ordinary, unusual for a Russian. Yes, there's something like that, sadness, pain. They say he has 6 billion in his account. Remember the phrase? Behind every wealthy person, there's a great crime, right?" asked the chef who was smoking a cigarette. Time went by, and the chefs continued discussing the situation. "What do you think he could have done to earn so much money? Do you even care?" the other chefs asked. "To be honest, I don't." At that moment, the head chef approached this man and said, "My restaurant is teeming with dictators, war criminals, thieves, despots. These people rule the world." Without much thought, the man replied, "All our restaurants are teeming with them, they're all wealthy people. Mr. Fidyachenko wants to see all of you, he wants to thank you for the dinner." The chefs all gathered around the table and the guests. The man at the table said, "Here they are, all the great chefs, gathered together, working together for one evening, one goal," and he pointed at the chefs. "Please have a seat. I know you're all very busy people, but I want you to know how grateful we are for your incredible efforts." And it's true. The man also asked, "Can I tempt you with aromatic cigarettes or unique expensive cognac?" Napoleon was still alive when they bottled this cognac. "I've kept it for a special evening. After all your hard work, I would like you to participate in a little entertainment. I hope you don't mind. Allow me to officially introduce Ichi-san, my physiotherapist. He will explain everything." Ichi-san began his speech. "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my little nightmare. Haha. Have you ever heard of the samurai game of the Edo period? It was popular between 1603 and 1868. Warriors would gather together, first to feast, and then to play on their nerves. There was a huge terrifying room with skeleton masks and candles. 100 candles of courage. As night fell, the warriors gathered together. In the adjacent room, the candles were already lit. A mirror was placed on the table. The men took turns sitting in a circle and told stories of fear, ghosts, and werewolves. Tales of dreadful encounters with the supernatural, unexplainable events, about place and karma, all to instill fear in the hearts of their comrades and samurais. After finishing their story, the storyteller had to extinguish one candle and look into the mirror to ensure no evil spirit had possessed them, and then return to their friends. With each story told, the room became darker and darker, and the stories became scarier and more frightening. But when it came to the last, the 100th story, the frightened participants invariably stopped. They were too afraid to invoke the wrath of those terrifying spirits they might attract. Ha ha. Cowards, said the main man at the table. Come on, my brave friends. Play with me. I've been waiting all evening. Who will start? He asked. The story began. I will start with an instructive tale. Not everyone in this world has enough food. There are places where there are plenty of hungry spirits. Their ghosts are angry, their earthly affairs are unfinished. These spirits, they are the spirits of those who died of hunger. Hungry ghosts. Some people prefer to ignore them, others simply do not know. But ignorance is not an excuse, it will not save you. Perhaps you only see what is in front of you. Perhaps greed or selflessness in your work prevent you from seeing what lies beyond. The details that, in your opinion, don't matter, but actually mean everything. One evening, a terrifying man who resembled a homeless person entered one of the local cafes. I am so hungry, sir. Please, even leftovers will do, the homeless man requested. The bartender replied, I would gladly help, but there is nothing left. The homeless man continued, please, sir. I am starving. I haven't eaten anything for days. There must be something left that could save a life. The bartender looked into his eyes intently and replied, no, I'm sorry. I worked all day, and now we're closed. There is nothing left. The bartender's workday was over, he closed the cafe and headed home. On his way home, he heard eerie sounds. Sounds that, according to legends, are made by spirits, the clicking of bones and teeth. The bartender was genuinely frightened. He started running while looking back. He screamed and ran as fast as he could. He was almost at his house when his family saw him from the balcony. Wife, look, it's Daddy, the children exclaimed. He'll be surprised to see that we're still awake and waiting for him. But a dead spirit of a huge and terrifying skeleton appeared before the man. Out of fear, the man sat down and covered his ears from the horrifying sounds. The terrifying skeleton spirit yelled, you ignored my hunger, but now you will know. It grabbed the man with its enormous hands and crushed him into pieces in an instant. It was worth feeding me, said the skeleton and began devouring the man. Yes, it was worth feeding him. It was worth helping a person in need. The pirate story. One night, a ship sailed on a stormy sea. On board was a girl with a rose. Since our evening is turning into some kind of sausage party, I decided to add some variety and tell a story about women. Don't worry, there will be plenty of romance. Well, kind of. The sensual mad adventure of pirates on the open waters. Boys, you love pirates, don't you? I'm sure you'll enjoy this story. There was so much debauchery. The sea is vast, my friends, it is full of life, different creatures, known and unknown. There was a time when loose women were thrown into the sea as punishment for leading a lascivious life. They begged for mercy, but the pirates eagerly did it. Who knows what happened to them afterwards? The girl was out in the open sea, calling for help. Observing, the pirates discussed the situation. Let's save her and enjoy her later. Military trophies go to the victors. I'm sure there's a Latin phrase for such a situation. Ah, the pirate noted, it's called rape. They brought the promiscuous girl back to the ship, and many pirates surrounded her, all desiring her. I would love to kiss her lips, we should be the first. Oh no, you pigs, they argued. I'm fine, gentlemen, thank you for saving me. I was helpless and would have died soon. I am grateful to you for your generosity, the girl said. How grateful are you? Such a cutie, the pirates complained. Some of them haven't touched a girl in a long time, and some never have. The captain appeared and said, haha, my dear lady. Welcome aboard our humble vessel. As the captain, I would like to exercise my right of the first night, so to speak. Perhaps you would like to join me in the cabin? And then, I'm afraid, my boys could use some attention too, in one way or another. The girl replied, Captain, I wouldn't have been thrown into the open sea if I didn't understand the cruel realities of our world. It's a man's world for now. This ship is yours, and I am at your service. Yes, yes, quite right. Well said, the captain remarked. I apologize for the less than ideal conditions and for the behavior of my men. Naturally, I would prefer to keep you for my personal use. But you see them, if I don't give them what they want, all of them, it could lead to problems in maintaining order. That can be understood, the girl replied. I am strong and accustomed to all sorts of animalistic behavior. What did she just say? The crowd of pirates was astonished. The girl responded, well then, let's get started. The pirates went crazy, shouting to be the first. The captain took the girl's hand and led her into the cabin. In a romantic atmosphere, he lowered his pants to please the lady. She discovered that he was quite small, but he said, maybe you find it funny now, my dear, but soon it won't be a laughing matter. Damn it, my balls. She bit off my balls, the captain yelled. In the cabin, a queue had already formed to get to the lady. Come on, let's finish with these dirty bastards. Oh God, do any of you even know what soap is? You stink as if you rolled in fish guts. And I happen to like the smell of guts, love it, a disgusting pirate replied. Ouch. That hurt, what have you done to me? Another pirate screamed. The girl bit off the main dignity of each of them. The girl transformed into a monster and laughed, ha ha. Want your balls back, my darlings? Your precious and clearly tiny balls, your treasures. Give back the plundered goods in return, spineless cowards. Pitiful, hopeless men, ha ha. The girl looked into the mirror to calm down. Around the table, everyone glanced at each other. The main event's organizer said, I thought our stories should be related to food. It's still to come, the girl answered, the cook. The story of the salty horse. In that same dreadful room, surrounded by candles and masks, the participants gathered. A man holding a candle said, I'm joining the game and addressing everyone. I just reproached my colleague for her story, saying it wasn't about food. Mine, on the contrary, is all about it. It happened in Spain between the world wars. Nevertheless, horse meat is still prepared and eaten throughout Europe and elsewhere. On the table, there was a dish with eyes as delicacies, marvelous. After trying the dish, the man said, not enough salt, needs more salt. It didn't turn out great. Maybe it's not the season or it's the sauce. In any case, it's completely unacceptable. Calling the cook to the table, the man said, you need to improve the sauce somehow. Let it be mushroom. Perhaps the combination of acidity and vegetal notes will slightly enhance the taste of the dish. One day, while walking to his herd of horses, the man stood and watched them with the farm's owner. The man said, bring me this one, give me this one. What a stallion! Excellent muscular structure, so healthy. The meat must be marbled too. The farmer replied, but, patron, this is our best working horse. Do you really want to eat him? Yes, I do. How many horses do I have left? Not many, the farmer answered. As it used to be, you've already eaten most of them. Perhaps you should consider switching to sheep or goats, or other livestock that you have plenty of on your land. The boss replied, there's something special about horse meat. I crave it. I just can't stop. Sitting at the table, the man devoured his horse dish. Horse tartare is one of his favorite meals. Grilled ribs, tongue, and brain. And for dessert, a delicious boiled horse head with garnishes. The next evening, the boss got hungry again and went out with the farmer to choose a horse for dinner. The farmer informed him, there are no more horses left. That was the last one. You don't have any horses left. All those racehorses, stallions, and broodmares. You even ate the foals, there's no one left. The man felt disappointed, so there's absolutely none left? There's one, the farmer replied, pointing at a horse in the distance. An old war horse, ancient and skinny. There's no point even mentioning it. You surely don't want to eat him. Bring him to the table, the boss said. Braise him in red wine and add some wild mushrooms. I love wild mushrooms. Wild mushrooms are the best. The boss enjoyed his dinner. He devoured everything like a wild animal and then jumped on the table to finish whatever he could find. And tomorrow it will be horse carpaccio. Having eaten his fill, he decided to go to sleep. He had a very disturbing dream. In front of him stood a huge, angry horse that spoke, "I've witnessed you taking my friends, my family, one by one, to satisfy your appetite, and I allowed it because you humans are the masters of this dreadful world. Who am I to oppose the harshness of natural order? You castrate us, saddle our backs, use us in sports, and to kill our own kind. And you, boss, your hunger is wrong. It's time to deal with your hunger. Why do you torment me, foolish apparition? You're just stinking animals, your lunch," replied the boss. The wild creature attacked. "I am but a spirit, yet my flesh is your flesh. My flesh resides within you, and I have come to reunite with a part of you. Tell me, do you still find me appetizing?" The chef who was narrating interjected, "Just so you know, I'm not blaming poor Chubby. From time to time, I indulge myself with horse tartare or sausages. And there's no need to remind you how this man suffered from his sin in his final days. He was agonizing, in my opinion. And when the creature left him, he was finally freed from his sin. It's a lesson for all of us in a sense.